Les Bernal, he's here from Stop Predatory Gambling. He is going to share his message, and he has an opportunity for you today. So welcome, Les.
All right, so good afternoon. My message is a little bit different than what you heard earlier today, okay? All of which is important, but I'm going to say a few things. And before I even get started, I just want to draw your attention to the left of the doorway there, emblazoned on your State House, is this quote that I'm about to read to you. And I want you, after I speak, I want you to think about that quote. This is a public building, this is your building, but that quote is emblazoned on your building. And I want you to think about if this issue reflects that message. Okay? So the quote is this, quote, "A free state is formed and is maintained by the voluntary union of the whole people joined together under the same body of laws for the common welfare and the sharing of benefits justly apportioned." Okay? That's the message of state government here. And it's a similar message across the country. Okay? Emblazoned on your State House wall. Okay? Because I'm here today. My name is Les Bernal. I'm the National Director for Stop Predatory Gambling, which is based in Washington, D.C. And I'm here to tell you that government's partnership with gambling for the last 40 years, okay? 40 years we've been doing this, more and more extreme. But government's experiment with gambling for the last 40 years has failed. It's failed. It's one of the biggest public policy failures of the last half century. Okay? And we heard, you heard the retailer crying to Ronda. Okay? Everyone knows it's failed. We know it's failed. And no one has spoken out and said, it's failed. It's over. It's time to move on to a real policy that reflects something that's the common welfare, justly apportioned. Okay? There's no better state in the country to point to show how government's partnership with gambling has failed than this state, than the state of Oregon. It's Oregon's shame. Okay. Driving around the state, everywhere you go, you get these video poker machines in your face, everywhere. Like no other state in the country, except for Nevada. And I don't think no one wants Oregon compared to Nevada, I don't think. Okay? It not only are they everywhere across the state, it's the public voice of state government. What else does the state of Oregon's government advertise? Name it. Maybe the state universities, perhaps, but in your face, every day, billboards, one after another, advertising on television, radio. We're not just, allowing gambling. We are relentlessly encouraging it as a government program, and that's what we all forget about. What I think I didn't hear today, the governor's aide was here earlier. I don't think he's here any longer. The Oregon Lottery did a nice press release talking about problem gambling awareness day. Is anyone here from the lottery? Anyone here? Okay, they got the press, they got the PR here, but no one's here at the event. Let's make note of that. Not that's a surprise, okay? But this is a government program, okay? This isn't Bank of America lending bad loans to people and government suing them, okay? This is a government program. So just indulge me for 3 seconds. Just repeat that after me. This is a government program. This is a government program. Okay, okay. And this is a government program where half the profits come from gambling addicts. Okay? Half the profits come from gambling addicts. Okay? When McDonald's serves one hamburger with a salmonella on it, one hamburger, one person gets sick, anywhere in the country, you know what McDonald's does? There's a national recall of all meat products in the country at McDonald's. They don't serve a hamburger until that hamburger is proven safe. One person. You have a state, this state across the country, this state, where you have thousands and thousands of people who are being hurt, committing suicide as a result of a government program. That is why we need change. We don't just need awareness. We need change, and we need it now. And this change is going to come from people like you. So I call these people the gambling addicts who make up government's profits from the lottery or from casinos. I call these Americans, they're the expendable Americans. Okay? We're expendable. They bring casinos in. They're debating legalizing internet gambling. Okay, we acknowledge we're going to have some addicts, so we need to put aside some money for treatment. Okay? The rest of us, we're going to benefit new environmental programs. We're going to fund teacher pensions. We're going to fund schools. Good social good, social important projects. But those of you who pay for it, where half that money comes from, you're expendable. That's the message of government. And here's my problem with that, okay? And it relates to my big secret, and it's a big secret that you have. I live in a country where we don't have kings or queens, okay? We don't have princes, no Prince William, no Queen Elizabeth. We have a country, okay, where all blood is royal. All blood is royal. No one in this country is expendable. So when we talk about, equality and human rights and so forth, this government program denies hundreds of thousands of citizens in this state and across the country their royal blood. And those of you who have experienced this tragedy, this government program firsthand, you know what I'm talking about. And I'm here to tell you, you're not expendable. Under the law, under the law of God, under the human being, of the common good, you are not expendable. And it's time we awaken people's conscience about this government program. So some people say, well, we don't have the data. We don't know who plays. We don't know enough research. We need more research about this policy before we can do anything. Let's study it some more. It's been 40 years. It's been a failure for 40 years. And just the last 2 weeks, okay, some data that's finally going to, I think, help push this issue onto the top, onto the national agenda the way it needs to be, is a book from an MIT professor named Natasha Schull, who was a featured speaker on 60 Minutes about a year and a half ago for her work, an investigation into how electronic gambling machines are designed. Okay? The title of the book, okay, again, a government program, the title of the book, Addiction by Design. Addiction by design. In their drive to make their profits, make as much profits as they can, they have designed these machines to virtually addict anyone. Instead of having to travel 2 hours, these machines are on Main Street. On Main Street in America, everywhere. And it's a government program. So if you haven't read this book, you need to get your hands on it. Unfortunately, it's a little pricey, so maybe Bridgeway can buy a few copies and distribute them, okay? But every state legislature in the country, every concerned citizen, you need to read this. And you ask me, why do I spend the prime years of my life traveling around the country around this issue? Like 5 years ago, I left a normal life. I have 2 little kids. Why do I work on this? This woman helped influence me to do that. Because I read her stuff, and it's wrong. How could anyone in good conscience do this to other human beings? These are our neighbors. And Ronda is her brother. It's enough is enough. And it starts with you. So people ask you, what can you do? Yeah, we can raise some awareness, but we need to do more than raise awareness. Okay? You need to use your royal blood. You own this country. You're a part owner with the rest of us, and you need to act like it. We all need to act like it. And here's one thing you can do today. Okay? We are launching a national initiative. As a national organization, our mission is to put this issue on the national agenda. Okay? Because right now it's state against state. The gambling interests come in. If we don't do it in Oregon, they're going to go to Washington State, right? We don't do it in Connecticut, they're going to go to New York State. That message is just recycled over and over again. It doesn't matter. Even those other examples of public policies where states don't do the same thing. This one, it's part of the mainstream messaging. Okay? So this issue has to be a national debate, and you can help put it there. So what we're doing is we're organizing more than 500,000 Americans from every state in the country, from all sides of the political spectrum, all walks of life, to put their name on a statement called the American Declaration on Government and Gambling. And it's stuff that you already know that's in there. It's a very simple statement, about 1,000 words, and all it says is, this is a failed government policy, and it's time that government got back to pushing real prosperity and real hope for Americans. Okay? Okay? So don't leave here today without putting your name on this. And not only do you put your own name on it, but ask your friends, your family, because the way you get the attention in here is you need bodies. You need names. You need people to say, we've had enough. It's time for change. This is wrong. It's unjust. And that's how every social movement in the history of this country has worked, whether it was giving the women the right to vote, whether it was abolishing slavery, whether it was ending child labor, you name it. That's how it works. It's organizing people to speak out. So the last thing I'd say today is, I can't tell you, this is not what I envisioned I'd be spending the prime years of my life doing. Okay? But I can't tell how much I've learned from the process about our country, about other people. And so we will not win until the people here, the people standing on this cement, before this building, promoting the common welfare, until the people like you stand with us and get your voices loud. Because you, when they hear you, things will change. But right now, when the speaker said, your voices are silent, that needs to change. You want to change this for yourself, for your family, for your friends, for your children, for your grandchildren, you have to speak. God has had you do this. This is a reason. There's a reason why this has happened to all of us. You've been called. You've been summoned. And now we need to answer it. Thank you. There's copies of this up here.